A new study found that dogs with small brains are actually smarter, while dogs with larger brain are actually stupid. Is it true? Well, yes and no. It's much more complicated than that if you actually read the paper. What the scientists actually found out is not the total volume of the brain is what's important, but actually the ratio between the size of the brain and the dog's body size. So for example, toy breeds had a bigger brain when you compare their brain size to their body size than working dog breeds that actually had bigger bodies, but when you compare the size of the brain to their body, their brain was smaller. So it's actually the ratio. So the scientists compared what they called REV, relative endocranial volume. So the inner size of the skull, the space that actually contains the brain. What they found was, and I'm going to read it, REV increases with fear and aggression, attention seeking and separation anxiety, and decreases with trainability. What they found was that the smaller breed dogs, which had the higher REV, they had the bigger size of the brain compared to their bodies, were more likely to have behavioral issues such as fear and separation anxiety, while the bigger dogs that actually had the smaller brain compared to their body, they had the lower REV, were actually much more trainable. One of the bottom lines of this paper, and of course you can take it however you want to, is that domestication, our involvement in creating those really mutated breeds, those really small, tiny dogs that have nothing to do with the original breeds, might actually create those very scared and separation anxiety and a lot of behavioral issue dogs. Is it completely accurate? Maybe not, because if you take a wolf, for example, that was never domesticated, then you won't be able to train him the same way or at all like you would with a working breed dog. So again, the fact that the dog is bigger or closer in the physical attributes to his wolf companion or something like that doesn't automatically make them more trainable. We selected those dogs for a specific task, and we selected the other dogs for, well, actually not even a task, but for the way that they look. The toy breeds and all of the dogs that do have that very big head compared to their body are like this because that reminds people of babies. And it is something that we automatically like. We like how babies look like. That's also why a lot of the popular cartoons usually have very big heads and small bodies. There is one other really cool thing about this paper that all of you should know. But before that, I just want to quickly remind you that when I reach 5,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be giving out randomly to people that are actually subscribed and commented on this video or any of my videos. I will give 2 of these hats away, this one and this one. So like, subscribe, and comment. And back to what I wanted to say about how cool this thing is. I'm gonna put the link to this paper down in the info section below this video so you can try and find it yourself. It was given freely before. I'm not sure if you can get it for free anymore, but you might find it if you search for it well enough. But what you can access for free is the section where it shows the peer review process. Peer review is the process where a new study is submitted to a journal and then an editor go over it. If they think that the topic is interesting enough and that the study is not too flawed or anything like that, then they will have professionals that will read the entire thing, look at the literature, and give comments and request the authors to maybe adjust or explain things in their manuscript before they can even publish it. Sometimes if the paper is that bad, it might not actually get published. In this case, there was a lot of back and forth between the reviewers and the authors before it was published. Now I read it and it was maybe more interesting than reading the paper itself. Because, for example, it showed that originally the authors relied a lot on the American Kennel Club information that actually didn't have any scientific basis to it. So they had to switch to CBARC, which is a questionnaire that's been all over the world, basically, and asked for a lot of questions and a lot of information. And from that, you can actually get to more, let's say, evidence-based science than just general claims. Again, it's more complicated than that, but I think it's worth reading because we all learn how the process of scientific papers goes before it's being published. I hope you liked it. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll try to address them in the comments below. Or if you want me to make another video on a different topic or a different paper, just let me know.